All right, let's do it. Let's redraft the 2023 NBA draft 1 year into their careers. Now, I will say, this is very tough because I don't want to change this up too much, it's just 1 year into these guys' careers, but there will be some switch up. Don't worry, we're actually going to be doing the 20 picks in this draft, so 1 through 20, starting at San Antonio at number 1, all the way to Houston at 20. And I'm sorry, Rockets fans, you are not getting who you got at 20 in this redraft. And like always, you can roast my picks in the comments below if you disagree with me, but hey, if you agree with me, let me know down below. I'd appreciate that. All right, with the number 1 overall pick, the San Antonio Spurs in a 2023 redraft are going to select Grady Dick. Now, I'm obviously just kidding. They're selecting Victor Wembanyama, the generational talent they took number 1 overall and had one of the best rookie seasons of all time. Wemby just played 71 games in his rookie year, which is impressive in its own right with his size and frame. He was the 2024 block champion, where he averaged 3.6 a night. He won the Rookie of the Year award, all-rookie first team, obviously, was on all-defensive first team as well, in a season where he was 19 and 20 years old. Wemby's stat line was 21.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, 4 assists. He shot 47% from the field, 33% from 3, and 80% from the line. You saw different highlights of him every single night. This dude is a true generational talent and is going to be a top 10 player in the league by the end of next season, in my opinion. And it's obviously the number 1 pick in a redraft, probably ever. Before we get back into the rest of the redraft, I just want to give a word from today's sponsor. In May of 2022, I graduated with my master's degree and went into the corporate workforce as a finance rotational analyst. And I learned over the year and a half I worked that it just wasn't for me at this current moment. And I knew that I had a love and a passion for sports. And if you are going through something similar right now, today's sponsor, Southern New Hampshire University Sports Management Program, could be the career change waiting to happen for you. Southern New Hampshire University Sports Management Program lets you turn your passion for sports into a degree. You'll learn about the business of sports, sports management principles, and how to gather and analyze data that's interesting to your career. This degree could help you prepare for a career as an athletic director, a sports information director, a marketing manager, and other exciting roles in the sports industry. You'll be able to tap into SNHU's network of graduates working in sports related roles. Your courses are taught by faculty with real world experience, so you'll have opportunities to connect with people within the industry. SNHU is accredited, nonprofit, and has radically affordable tuition. So you can go to my link in the description and fill out this information, which is just your name, your number, your zip code, and your email. It's absolutely free to do, just to inquire, just to learn a little bit more about the program. So you can go to my link in the description and the pinned comment below, fill out this information. It takes 2 minutes to do, and learn more about what Southern New Hampshire University has to offer. And thank you again to SNHU for sponsoring today's video. Number 2, Charlotte kind of shocked some people when they selected Brandon Miller over Scoot Henderson, and they made the right selection. They're getting him here in a redraft. So they're still going with Miller, who had a great rookie season for being in such a poor environment in Charlotte. Charlotte ended up selling off most of their veterans at the deadline, sending Terry Rozier to Miami, PJ Washington to Dallas, and Gordon Hayward to OKC. There's constant immaturity on this Hornets team throughout the season, but Miller still put up an impressive 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2.5 assists this year, shooting 44% from the field, 37% from 3, 37% from 3, and 83% from the line, while also playing above average defense as well. Miller is only 21 years old and is looking like a legit building block for this Hornets going forward, and he may even be the building block with LaMelo Ball's health questioned every year and some of his off the court things going on as well. Miller looks like the franchise guy in Charlotte. All right, so number 3 overall, Portland Trailblazers are on the clock. Who do they go in a redraft just 1 year later? I'm still going Scoot Henderson. I know Scoot Henderson was not good in his rookie season. He didn't even make an all-rookie team. But one, it was not a good environment. They traded Damian Lillard so late into the offseason, so they had some roster turnover. Chauncey Billups, in my opinion, did not do a good job prioritizing Scoot Henderson's development for his rookie season. Yes, Scoot's numbers didn't look great. Shot 39% from the field, shot 33% from 3. But over Scoot's final 25 games of the regular season, he averaged 17 points, 6.5 assists, 3.5 rebounds, over a steal a night, and shot 41% from the field, 36% from 3, and 88% from the line. In my opinion, Scoot Henderson is still the prospect we looked at him at the G League Ignite. He's still going to be a good shooter in this league. He's a good defender, a good playmaker for somebody that's just 20 years old. And this is a thing with rookie guards. They're usually inefficient in their first year in the NBA. Just look at what happened with De'Aaron Fox, or even the first half of Cade Cunningham's career. This is a very typical thing. The potential is still there with Scoot Henderson, and I don't think anybody else showed an elite rookie season to warrant going number 3 in a redraft over Scoot. So at number 4, the Houston Rockets are on the clock once again. I still think they go with Amen Thompson, so I do think the top 4 picks stay the same. Amen Thompson played in 62 games this year, averaging 9.5 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. He shot 54% from the field, was great at finishing at the rim, but the shooting is very lackluster right now, 14% from 3 and 68% from the line. And I know he only averaged 2.5 assists, but I feel like Amen Thompson really wasn't prioritized in a playmaking half-court role. and I think we'll see that a lot more from him going forward. Either it's a 1 or a 2 or even a 3. He can guard multiple positions. He's an elite defender already, in my opinion, at just 21 years old, and I do think he has way better playmaking potential than his twin brother has. And I think some of the other guys going around Amen Thompson right here, I don't think they would target a center with Alperen Şengün on the roster if they wanted to look at Derek Lively. So yeah, Amen Thompson's going number 4 in a redraft. Now this is where the draft starts. So at number 5, Detroit is not taking Amen Thompson's twin brother. They're going to go with Cam Whitmore, who was the 20th pick originally on draft night. Yeah, there was some characteristic medical questions with Cam Whitmore, and that's why he fell to 20. If you remember, in mock drafts leading up to the draft, he was a consensus top 10 pick. Some people thought he can go all the way as high as 4 to Houston, and they got him at 20. And NBA GMs look kind of dumb letting him fall to 20. Cam Whitmore was a phenomenal athlete this season at just 19 years old. He averaged 12 points, 4 rebounds, shot 45% from the field, 36% from 3, and in my opinion is a above average defender already. He does need to work on his court vision sometimes. He is a ball stopper. He does not get many assists, but I think he could really be a Michael Porter Jr. type role in this league. And if he's going to give you above average defense, Detroit needs shooters, so Cam Whitmore would be perfect alongside Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duren, and obviously Cade Cunningham. Playing time was very inconsistent for Whitmore this season because they have a lot of depth there in Houston. I expect him to play a lot more in year number 2, and he'd be going number 5 to Detroit in my redraft. At number 6, Orlando was on the clock. They went with Anthony Black originally. They're not going to take him here. They're going to go with the guy that went 12th in this draft to the Dallas Mavericks. They're going to select Derek Lively II out of Duke. And I know center for Orlando really wasn't a priority on draft night. They went with Black, a guard at 6, and Jett Howard, another guard slash wing at 11. But Lively's too good to pass up on, in my opinion. He was 19 years old for most of the season, and he was such a productive player for a Dallas Mavericks team that is now in the conference finals. Lively averaged 9 points, 7 rebounds, shot 75% from the field, is a legit lob threat and one of the best in the league already at 19 and 20 years old. He also averaged a block and a half a night, and for some points in this season, just like 10 to 15 games in his career, was playing 40 plus minutes a night in meaningful games for Dallas as they were trying to be a top seed in the Western Conference. And Orlando gets a potential elite rim protector and half-court partner for Paolo Banchero in Orlando, and I think this would be the pick here at number 6. On the clock here at number 7, Washington traded up with Indiana. I still think they make the same selection with Bilal Coulibaly. We knew that Bilal was going to be a very raw prospect in this league, and it's going to take a little bit of time to develop. And apparently Bilal has grown from 6'6" to 6'9", so he's going to be 3 inches taller going to his age 20 season. Bilal was still 19 years old. He put up 8.5 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists a night, shooting 44% from the field and 35% from 3 on one of the worst teams in the NBA, so not a good rookie environment whatsoever coming over from France. And it was an up and down season for Bilal's efficiency, but I do think the potential is still there. Washington really likes these long, lanky wings, and Bilal would still be the pick at 7. So Indiana's on the clock at 8. It's not going to be Jarris Walker. When you're watching them in the playoffs right now, what player looks like he could be an Indiana Pacer for you? Obviously Ben Shepherd, but I think Brandon Podziemski just screams Indiana Pacer to me. Podziemski is a do-it-all guard. He's someone that's going to score 9.5 points in his rookie year. He can rebound 6 rebounds a night for someone that is 6'5". He can pass 4 assists a night as well. He also shot 45% from the field, 39% from 3, and averaged just under a steal a night. He doesn't turn the ball over. He does a lot of things well, and I think would be a perfect Pacer to come off the bench for a team that may actually be in the conference finals for years to come. Okay, at number 9, Utah originally selected Taylor Hendricks. They're going to go somebody that is lanky and super athletic, but not Taylor Hendricks. They're going to go with Asor Thompson, the original number 5 pick in this draft. I still think the potential is there for Asor Thompson, so I didn't want him to fall outside the top 10. And like his twin brother, Amen Thompson, he is an elite defender already. I do worry about the jumper, though. It's not going to be pretty next year either. He averaged 9 points in his rookie season, 6.5 rebounds, 2 assists a night, and shot 48% from the field. He's a good finisher at the rim, but 18% from 3, 59% from the line. Him and his brother just need to be locked into the gym this summer and take 1,000 threes a day. But Utah gets a very versatile elite defender here that could be a great cutter and slasher for this team. And like I said, the potential is too good for him to fall outside the top 10. Now at number 10, OKC traded up. They took on the Davis Bertans contract to select Cason Wallace out of Kentucky. That's who they're taking here in a redraft. So yeah, same selection for Cason Wallace, and he had a very good rookie year. But unlike Bilal Coulibaly, Asor Thompson, he was drafted in a perfect situation in OKC that specialized his roles to the fullest. He's an elite defensive guard that is a good spot-up shooter, and that's exactly how OKC used him. He averaged 7 points, 2 rebounds throughout the regular season, 49% from the field, 42% from 3, and is an elite defender already in this league in my opinion. He played meaningful minutes in round 2 against the Dallas Mavericks, showing his defensive skills out there. Did struggle shooting the ball a little bit, but I think Wallace is going to be just fine. I don't think he has the high-end potential of like a Scoot Henderson or a Men Thompson that could lead a team as their lead initiator. I think Wallace is better suited off ball, but he's going to make, I think, multiple all-defensive teams in his career. So this is going to be the pick at 10. I don't think he falls outside of it. Someone that impressed me a ton this year was Keontae George, and he's going to go 11 here to the Orlando Magic in a redraft. They get a shooter, and I like George over Grady Dick or Jordan Hawkins because I do think he has very good playmaking ability. I don't think he's a lead initiator or a franchise point guard in this league, but I think he's a great combo guard and an off-ball complementary piece. George averaged 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists a night in his rookie season, shot 39% from the field and 33% from 3, but 85% from the line. And like I said about Scoot Henderson, this is a common thing with rookie guards in this league, but George was asked way more than he probably expected to do in his rookie season for Utah, and Orlando could get a really good combo guard here at 11. So we knew that the Dallas Mavericks wanted a big man on draft night, and Derek Lively's off the board. He went 6 to Orlando. So here at 12, they still trade down to get off the Bertans contract. They're going to select Taylor Hendricks, who's going to fall 3 spots in this redraft. And I know Hendricks didn't have the flashiest rookie numbers, 7 points, 4.5 rebounds, shot 45% from the field and 38% from 3, but he just really didn't have consistent playing time and didn't really come onto the scene until mid-March, and his final 16 games of the year averaged 10 points, 5 rebounds, over assists a night, a steal and block, and shot 44% from 3 on 4 attempts a night. I still think Hendricks is going to be a solid defensive floor spacing 4 in this league, and that is super valuable in the year 2024. He's going to go 12 here to the Dallas Mavericks and be an amazing complementary piece to Luka Doncic. Coming in at number 13, Toronto is still going to get shooting in this draft. They're going to select who they originally took, Grady Dick. Dick averaged 8.5 points, 2 rebounds, and assists a night this season, shooting 43% from the field and 37% from 3, also 86% from the line, which is great for a rookie. And I felt bad for Dick over the course of the season because I feel like they threw him out there and he looked lost at times and obviously had to spend some time in the G League. But over his last 28 games, he averaged 12.5 points, 3 rebounds, and shot 38% from 3 on 5.5 attempts. Looked better on the defensive end of the floor. I still think the Raptors are comfortable taking him here in the lottery in a redraft. Coming in at number 14, the New Orleans Pelicans. I still believe they would go with Jordan Hawkins, who was the original 14th overall pick on draft night, someone that was a big-time shot maker at UConn, came into the NBA, shot 37% from 3 in his rookie season, 84% from the line, 8 points, 2 rebounds a night. He obviously didn't have the most playing time in the world because this is a deep Pelicans team that was trying to make the playoffs, so it was a little inconsistent for Jordan Hawkins, but I do think he's going to be a very valuable 3-and-D wing in this league long term, and he'd still go in the lottery in a redraft. So at 15, Atlanta originally took Kobe Buffkin. I loved him a ton coming out of Michigan, but I think they would go Anthony Black since he fell in this redraft. And Anthony Black definitely has more versatility than Kobe Buffkin. I think he's a better ball handler. He's better suited to guard guys on the perimeter, and he can guard point guards, shooting guards, and small forwards. Because Black is 6'7", he's still just 20 years old. He shot 47% from the field this year and 39% from 3. He appeared in 69 games, but obviously he didn't play too much, specifically in the games he played in. It was like around 4 to 5 minutes a night at times. But I still think Black has a ton of potential in this league, and I may have him going kind of low in the redraft. You have to let me know. And you're probably watching this and you're like, Matt, how have you not talked about Jaime Jaquez here? Well, I'm going to have him go 16th here to the Utah Jazz. And you might be saying like, Matt, like, what are you talking about? He was a top 5 rookie this year. I 100% agree, but I'm honestly not surprised he is a top 5 rookie. He's 23 years old. He's 3 years older than most of the guys that we've talked about already. And I honestly think what we saw from Jaime Jaquez in the first half of the season is going to be relatively what we're going to see from him throughout the course of his career. We're already pretty much at his ceiling, in my opinion. And from February on, in 36 games, his final 36 of the regular season, Jaquez shot 45% from the field, 28% from 3, 77% from the line, and averaged just 9.5 points a night. Defenses started to figure him out. There's a limit on his athleticism. There's a limit on his defensive ability. I still like Jaquez as a player, don't get me wrong. I think he's going to be a good rotational piece in this league long term. I just think we're already at his ceiling or close to it, rather than a bunch of these other guys I had going ahead of him who still have multiple years of improvement ahead of them. And at 17, we have the final guy that hasn't been mentioned that was a top 10 pick. It's going to be Jarris Walker, falling from 8 to 17. And this may be low for Jarris Walker, and I had a top 10 grade on him going into the 2023 draft. I just think the Indiana Pacers did a terrible job with his development this season. Anytime he showed flashes in any game this season, it seems like he didn't play at all the following night. Just not a great job job by Rick Carlisle in that front office. He spent a lot of time in the G League, up and down, up and down. And Walker, I think, is going to have some confidence issues out there. There's going to be some consistency issues, and I hope that Indiana is willing to be patient with him, but they're a team that is going to expect to be back in the conference finals next year. They're going to look to add in this offseason. And with Pascal Siakam most likely getting a max contract to return, where is there ever going to be a time for Jarris Walker to start in Indiana? So the Lakers get a value play here at 17, better than their original selection in Jalen Hood-Schifino. Speaking of Indiana players and rookies, we're going to have Ben Shepherd go to the Miami Heat here at 18, someone that's playing big time minutes for the Pacers here in the playoffs as a rookie. I honestly wasn't a huge fan of this pick originally out of Belmont. I thought Ben Shepherd was going to be a middle to end of the rotation guy, but after what I've seen from him this season, and he's playing tough in the playoffs, I think he could be a real glue guy in the league for years to come. He will hustle up and down the floor defensively, he can knock down open threes, and there is a value for a player like that for years to come on good teams that are competing, and he'd be the perfect Miami Heat. And for 19 and 20, we're going to have back-to-back second-round picks. First up at 19, the Warriors aren't going to be able to get Brandon Podziemski, obviously, so they're getting G.G. Jackson, the original 45th pick on draft night. And G.G. Jackson was definitely a raw prospect coming out of South Carolina. A lot of scouts and analysts thought he should have stayed another year as a Gamecock. And with all the injuries Memphis had this year, G.G. Jackson saw a huge opportunity in playing time and didn't miss on his opportunity. He averaged 14.5 points, 4 rebounds, and shot 43% from the field, 36% from 3, 75% from the line. Showed good ball handling ability and above average defense, and I think G.G. Jackson is going to be in this Grizzlies rotation playing notable minutes for a team that is going to try to win a championship next season. And obviously Houston isn't going to be able to get Cam Whitmore here at 20. He went 5th in this redraft, so they're going to get Trace Jackson Davis, the 57th overall pick to the Golden State Warriors on draft night. And Houston can get a good serviceable big here. Trace Jackson Davis won't turn the ball over. He can rebound inside. He's an efficient scorer, shot 70% as a rookie, and also is a solid passer as well. And at the time, they didn't have Steven Adams or Jock Landale on the roster, and he'd be an upgrade over those two long term. So yeah, that is going to be for me and my 2023 NBA redraft. Let me know what you agree with or disagree with down below. Some of the guys that I definitely had trouble ranking were Jarris Walker, Keontae George, and Jaime Jaquez, and Anthony Black as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Drop a thumbs up if you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.